Hello BL fans and welcome back to yet another video on the wide world of BL. I am Aaron. Of course, today we're going to be doing something fun. I am so excited about this. This is of course not a comprehensive list, however, in my experience with watching BL, I decided to compile my top 5 BLs that I think you should watch. Give it a try. I'm super excited about this list. It took me forever to break it down to just 5. So I hope you appreciate all of the hours and the painstaking everything that went in to trying to make this video as comprehensive as possible. But also, again, these are my top 5. Not everybody has to agree with them, but these are the ones in my experience of watching all of them, the ones that really impacted me in a special way, and I hope that they've impacted you in a similar way. So I'm excited. Let's get into it. Number 5 is Love is Science. Now, this is not your conventional BL. Is actually there's actually a BL storyline, but it's mainly about um, a straight couple, Yanfei and Wan. Oh boy, Wang. Well, let's call him Wang because I can't. I'm terrible. This is actually a Taiwanese BL, so it's not your conventional Thailand BL, which I think is another reason why I wanted to put it into this video because it. When we think of BL, we automatically think of Thailand, but there's so many other countries that are doing them and doing them really well. So yes, Love of Science. It follows Yanfei and Wang, and also Owen and Mark. Now, Owen works with Yanfei at her marriage place. We're gonna call it a marriage agency, I guess. Um, and Mark is a hairstylist, and so is Wang. Wang is also a hairstylist. So the main premise is, Wang has had his huge crush on Yanfei since he was a child, and she ended up getting married, and it's sort of this unrequited love that really starts to unfold in a really beautiful way. And so Mark is actually straight when the series begins, and it's through all of these different encounters that he has with Owen that change his mind about how he feels about him, and he's finding himself thinking about him more and more as the storyline progresses. There's a particular scene where Mark is getting into a fight, and he sees Owen and he calls for help, and Owen just kind of walks away, and this kind of stunned look on his face is like what the heck? And and then later he comes back and he actually helps him to fight off these particular people, and so it sort of escalates from there, and it's one of those underrated, and these are the kinds that I really enjoy. I'm not against, the conventional love story, but I love it when it kind of has like a little BL undertone because I think it makes it more interesting. And, it's one of those, we're loving the representation and we're wanting the representation even more. And so I think that will help us to sort of get there in terms of the wide range acceptance. Okay, moving on. We are going to go to number 4, which is quite arguably one of the best, not my top best, but one of the best BLs that I've ever seen. And you know it, I know it, we all love it. It is Love by Chance. And Love by Chance is kind of one of those starter BLs. If you're wanting to get into the world of BL and you're not sure where to start, this is where I would start because it has drama, intrigue, it has romance, it's got everything you would hope and expect from a really good BL. So it follows Pete and A. And so Pete is this kind of rich kid who's very shy, very timid, very quiet. And so he happens upon A in a very unexpected way. There's this sort of bicycle accident, that involves the two. And so it's that deep connection, like they're looking into each other's eyes for the very first time. And it was almost, it was that quintessential love at first sight. And so as their storyline progresses, A, of course, is sort of this straight acting college kid, right? And so he's just now coming to terms with the fact that he's fallen in love with a man. And, Pete recognizes that in him. And so the love and the respect and just the charisma that they have on scene and on throughout the whole BL is just an incredible way to represent the kind of love that we're all looking for, and just sort of how it, from its instance to how it progresses, is sort of one of those that I think is really important. And then they start out as friends, and then they realize, there's more feelings there. And so they decide to take that chance. And I think that is what's truly remarkable about all of this. And it's one of those feel good. I mean, yes, you're going to get mad. You're going to throw things. You're going to punch the wall. You're going to scream into your pillow because it's so blatantly obvious, but it's just like you want them to get to it faster. But you understand that the speed is necessary, what they're doing. So in that instance, it's a little troubling, but nonetheless, still really good. Number 3 is My Bromance. Now, this was actually the very first. In 2014, this was the very first movie that touched on the subject of any kind of same-sex relationship. Now, this particular movie series, it had like 4 movies, but it also had a TV series that kind of followed each of the movies, but with a different cast. So that's kind of the reason why I didn't include that particular BL in here, because the movies had a consistent cast and the TV show kind of deviated a little bit. Not saying that it was bad, but it just kind of deviated from what we wanted, or what I wanted, after watching them all. So again, this was sort of Thailand's introduction into the world of BL, boys love, and how, it's about 2 step siblings who start off as kind of, typical brothers. They're constantly fighting. They don't have any respect for each other. And then feelings start to develop. And then there's this ashamed feeling, like, okay, this is my brother. Like, why am I feeling this way towards him in more than a brotherly way? And it forces society to really take a look at acceptance in a different way. Like, okay, it's 2 men, cool, that's awesome. That was society's first hurdle. That, oh, 2 men can actually love each other. But then it was like, wait, they're brothers, but they're not biological brothers. So where's the gray area? Where's the line? What are we tiptoeing around to try to sort of circumvent all of this negativity? So I think that this series, this movie series actually did a really good job of bringing that back to society, bringing it into a positive light that has actually helped produce all these other wonderful BLs that we're currently watching and that we're currently enjoying. And they really wouldn't be anywhere without this particular one. So definitely, if you haven't watched the My Bromance movie series, definitely give it a watch. All right, we're going to go on to another one. Between Us is number 2. Now, from this, you can probably gauge what my number 1 is. However, this is such a wonderful... This series just ended not too long ago. It's a parallel story to Until We Meet Again, where this one focuses on the relationship and development of Win and Team, and sort of how their love came to be, and sort of the trials and tribulations that they had to face. And it's one of those heart-wrenching ones, because throughout the entire series you're just thinking, when is it going to be time? When is it finally going to happen? And you know, the writers and the actors did a wonderful job of maintaining that suspense and just, you know, the intense drama that exuded from this entire series was by far one of the best of 2022. Um, that I think, you know, it was the highly anticipated and much sought after sort of continuation story because you never really got that until we meet again for a very particular reason. So the one thing that's different about Between Us is there is no there's no real mystery. There's no real, you know, connection between Parm and Dean. Although they show up, they're this story is truly the love story of Win and Team. And I think if you haven't watched it, I'm gonna caution you. I mean, there's a lot in there. There's a lot of feeling. There's a lot of intensity, and it's wonderful. That leads us to my number one. If you haven't guessed it yet, it is Until We Meet Again, and here's why. So, Until We Meet Again is this heart wrench. For some reason, I absolutely love the heart wrenching, going through the fires of hell to get to the one that you love, and you know, keeping that love, and through whatever obstacles come around. So the premise behind Until We Meet Again is there's two boys, Parm and Dean, who are the reincarnated souls of two lovers from the past who committed suicide. So that would be Korn. I can't remember the other guy's name. Isn't that bad? And it'll come to me later. So the younger couple commit suicide in the 80s because, you know, they were pretty much forced to be apart. Their family said absolutely not. And so the only way that they thought that they could be together forever would be to commit suicide. But there's a really, really awesome line. And, you know, it's, we can finally be together. And, you know, it's just, and it's the whole red thread theory that is very common. You know, it's connecting the souls together. And so with Parm and Dean, you know, it's their struggle to find each other first, you know, because these two souls said that they won't rest until they find each other again. And they found each other again in these two boys, and sort of their journey to finding each other again, rekindling that love, and holding on to that love. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. And that's what really makes this BL one of the most wonderfully crafted and just ahead of its time, really, in terms of drama and intrigue. And it's definitely one of those that I highly, highly recommend. Every time anybody asks me, where should I start? If you don't want to start with My Bromance, start with Until We Meet Again, because it will give you the best introduction into not only the structure of BL, but it will also give you all the feels, and it will give you all of the, you know, like with any, you know, you're gonna get angry, you're gonna get sad, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be mad, you're gonna be all of these things at once and separately. But above all, it truly encompasses my philosophy on what love is and what love should be. It's something that you fight for. It's something that you want to internalize, you want to eternalize, and you want it to last forever. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it for you. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Maybe what your favorite BL is. And we'll have a discussion from there. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.